Here is my 3 audience members, and this is gonna be speech number 3. As soon as he sets up the tripod and gets everything going. You all good? Okay. So this is gonna be speech 3. What I'm gonna be talking about is savings in general and the different forms of savings. There's a thing called the 50-30-20 plan. There's a thing called Roth, and there's a thing called the traditional 401k plan. So with that being said, according to CNN, only 20% of working Americans save only 5% of their income. And even further than that, only 28% saves 6 to 10%. And only 16 saves less than that, which is like 5%. So with that being said, a lot of experts like Investopedia, this is a global site for investing, say that the average person should be saving 20% of their total income. So with that being said, I'm gonna just go ahead and jump right into it. So the 50-30-20 plan is what most experts say people should be allocating towards their gross monthly expenditures. 50% should be for their needs, which is their discretionary spending. 50 for non-discretionary, 30 for discretionary, and then 20 for their savings. So with that being said, what does discretionary spending mean to you guys? Do you know?
Bills.
Bills?
Cost of living?
Yeah.
Necessities?
So non-discretionary spending is pretty much the things that you cannot go without. The things that you can cut back on, but you can't eliminate. So like groceries, you can cut back a little bit, but you can't not eat, right? You got your rent, you got your utilities. Those are the things that you're pretty much locked in. You can't do anything about. A lot of people can save the most money on their discretionary spending, which is the wants, the Nikes, the car intakes, the stuff that you necessarily want but you don't need. You know what I'm saying? The 20% is where you should be saving the good amount of your money. So how do most people save money? Do you know?
The pillow.
The pillow.
Active transfers?
Active transfers.
Banks?
Bank savings accounts. So all those are good. They're good and bad. So there's a thing called inflation. Inflation is a thing that devalues the purchasing power of what your money can actually buy. So I'm gonna just pose a question for the camera. If you took $1 and put it up under your pillow for 1 year, how much do you think that $1 gets you in that 1 year? Will it be able to buy the same amount of stuff that it did a year ago?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
Well, I already talked to you about that, but the answer is no. The reason for that is called inflation. The inflation in the United States for 2020 is about 2%. So every year you lose 2% of purchasing power off of that $1. So you may still have a $1, but it's only gonna be able to buy 98 cents worth of things that it could have a year ago because it has devalued in its purchasing power. Does it make sense? So with that being said, that's the trap that a lot of people get when it comes to savings accounts. You put your money in a savings account and you get pretty much close to less than 1% of interest on your money, which means that when you put your money in that savings account, they're gonna give you 0.2% of interest on your money. But I just told you guys that inflation is 2%, right? So you're losing money in the long run. That's why it's more important to put your money into like a CD account, certificate of deposit, according to a lot of websites like Investopedia, or mutual funds like TD Ameritrade, or things of that nature that gives you more interest than inflation. So getting back to the 50-30-20 rule, that is widely used on thebalance.com. That's where I get my information from. So the next thing I'm gonna talk about is your Roth 401k plan. So Roth 401k is pretty much a retirement fund that you set up with after-tax money. You've already paid your taxes on that money and you're actively saving it. That's pretty much what the military uses for a lot of their members. The difference between Roth and traditional is like I just said. Roth is after tax. Traditional, you're not taxed yet. So with that being said, the advantages of using Roth is that most likely the tax rate may go up in the future. So with you paying your taxes early, when you're ready to take your money out, you don't have to worry about paying taxes on it because you've already paid it. Traditional, when you take your money out, you have to pay that tax on that money. So it benefits, let's say that our taxes right now for people of our tax bracket is like, let's say 12%. When you get in the future, it may be 20%. So now you're losing money in the future. So just to close off the argument, those three things are very important, which is your percentages that you're saving, which is your 50-30-20 rule, and the differences between Roth and traditional 401k plans, and the difference between inflation. Thank you for your time.